Hello, and welcome to another exciting episode of Cooking with Unity. I'm your host, Maximilian Moreau, and with me is my co-host, Philip Wilson.
That's me. I'm a co-host.
Yes. So today we're going to be continuing our project on Star Fox. Oh, I didn't get those files together. We're probably not going to have time to do the boss today anyway. Let's see what we get with that. I'm sure I can grab them if I need them.
Okay.
We actually got... I'm really sorry about this. I'm probably going to do this next episode, but if you're watching right now, I don't even know what your name is. I'm so sorry. Someone sent us some really cool boss art for the character and for a boss fight. And it's this cool tank thing, and I wanted to actually throw that in today, but I am not sure if we're going to get to it, and I totally forgot to get that prepped beforehand. So, without further ado, let's get over to Unity.
Sweet deal.
I'm just going to go main screen.
Main screen, turn on.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's you.
How are you, gentlemen? Oh, did I not open up monitor develop? I even have this checklist here. I should show them my checklist. Nah, I'm not going to show my checklist. So,
you should just trust that there's a checklist.
Yeah, there is actually a checklist this time, so hopefully the audio's not going to be screwed up, and the resolution's not going to be screwed up, and nothing's going to be screwed up, and everything's going to be awesome. Just getting monitor develop started. So, on our last episode, let's see where we're at. We have another long hiatus, and I'm sorry for that. I have had real-world obligations to try
look
and
at all that
fill
red.
my
It's awesome.
Oh yeah, I like that. So that we know.
We know very much that we are in game.
So we've got level 1. We got a health bar. Someone noted, and actually you just saw the bug right there. Someone noted that if we shoot the arches, it actually hurts us. Which is hilarious. And it's pretty obvious why that is. We don't actually check what we're colliding against. Just if the arch hits anything, it hurts the player.
That's hilarious.
So we're gonna fix that. That's one of our things on the list.
But we don't
to
want
do.
to punish people for shooting
the arches. But like a damage thing for some reason.
Oh, it hurts.
Oh god, it hurt me. Did I not actually clear it?
I don't think you did.
Ooh.
Oh, maybe.
Might have to fix the collision on that too. Or maybe I'm just not cool enough. Wow.
No, definitely need to fix collision there. No, we'll figure it out. Are we almost dead? What happens when you die?
Nothing. Oh, we go to negative, and it grows in the opposite direction. Look at that.
Yeah, let's just... Yeah!
Yeah!
That's awesome.
That's hilarious. Alright.
Cool deal.
So we don't have death yet, so that's something we should fix. We don't have a lot of things. Let's see what we had on level 2. I think we have less going on this, honestly. Oh yeah, we have the crazy enemy that warps in and out. Yeah, well, that's another thing
we have to fix that.
So many things to work on. Oh yeah, we started doing Asana in the last episode, didn't we? I wish I could have made that public.
I think so.
I may have to find another service. If any of you guys know of a good tasking listing service that actually allows us to create issues and invite public people, like you don't have to have an account or you can set up a free account, let us know. Because I would love to have kind of a forum that you guys can view with our current task list and objectives and stuff, and then you can kind of tick them off yourself, actually, if you're working at home on the project, or just see where our current state of the project actually is. So let's start with the collision bug, because that's pretty easy to fix. So damage player on collision is our magic script. Actually, I think we ended up using untrigger. Let's see what we got
I thought it was on
the what is it called? Models now. Prefabs, arch, damage player on trigger. Yeah, how did we think that worked? When obviously damage player on trigger is on this level of the thing. So yeah, there's no way that would actually work. So we're going to reorganize our arch a little bit. So One of the problems is we're taking damage when we shouldn't be taking damage when we fly through the middle of it. And that's probably less to do with actually the collision overlap, although that could be a problem, and more to do with the fact that we say damage player on trigger, and every single child object here has a trigger. And naturally the top doesn't, so it's using whatever triggers below it to determine that. So what we're going to do is collision center, we just want to add score, and the rest of them we want to add damage to the player, and we also don't want it to damage the player multiple times if you like clip multiple parts of it. So I'm going to create another empty game object, and we're going to call this hurt geo for hurt geometry.
Not hurt George.
Not hurt George. And I'm just going to zero this out for the moment, because it makes it easier to work on. And we're going to zero out the hurt geo, which it was actually really close. It doesn't look like it's really close. There's a lot of numbers there, but that was actually really close to 0.
Yeah, it was almost 0.
And so we got the hurt geometry there. I'm just going to hit 0 so it's not rotating anything additionally. And we're going to take all of the collisions. Wait, what was the cube? Destroy on invisible. Wait, what is this?
It's probably when it gets behind you. So.
Oh, this is the actual. Oh, got it.
Yes,
it.
cube
This is the actual.
Cube is the arch.
Yeah, that's the actual arch. Okay, let's
because
actually
I
call
didn't
this
know how to call
geo.
Things, arch in Blender. At that point.
Yeah. So we're gonna put collision 1 through 3 into hurt geo. And that's fine. We're gonna lose our prefab. We can actually get our prefab right back by just hitting apply here. And there we go. You can see that it's already done this. Unfortunately, you can't see that there's actually stuff within ArchGeo because Unity.
Yeah.
Oh, but they gave us quads, so I'm just going to pretend that I don't care for a little while.
I just want a single polygon now.
Single polygon? Why do you, there's no need for it.
Why not?
Why not? You could make, that's something like, you can make a polygon. Like, we could write a script to make a polygon in a second, and that would be more useful than a prefab, because would it be an equilateral triangle, or would it be a right triangle, or what would you want?
I want it all.
You want it all? Okay, fair enough. Well, that's what scripting's for. Alright, so I'm going to delete this from the scene. So let's see if that fixes the first problem, which is not being able to get bonus points without actually hurting yourself. So we're going to fly low and fast. Not that low because it looks like we're clipping through the ground. Oh, we could go right through. Yeah, that's something to fix at some point. Oh, it still hurt us. Why did it still hurt us? Probably because I made... Oh, yeah, I didn't actually change where the script was. So let's pull this back in. So we have damage player on trigger. We need to actually copy component, remove component, and we're going to throw it onto the hurt geo. Oh, here it is. Paste component is new. And let's hit apply, and just in case, apply this one as well. Delete, and we're going to give it another run here. And hopefully it will have fixed the problem. Is everyone hearing me? Is this actually stream? Did we start the stream? We started the stream.
Oh yeah, we started the stream.
Does it look like it's started? Like,
I mean, I could go back and check, but I'm just in the chat area right now.
Can you just double check, because we haven't seen anyone chat yet?
Sure.
Yeah, I just hope we're not speaking into the void. Oh, looks like...
No, it doesn't look like we're speaking into the void.
Okay, good. We just didn't give people enough of a heads up, I guess.
So
that's our fault.
Possible.
So it looks like that fixed it. So now if we go through the middle of it, well, we've tested one half of it. So if we go through the middle of it, I get points and I don't get hurt. So let's try going through the side. Points and didn't get hurt. Let's try that again. Third time's going to be the charm on this one, I think. Great.
Yeah, no.
Okay, so what happened?
You got points, but...
This time we fixed the point problem, but we didn't fix the trigger thing. Maybe... Sphere collider, on trigger, enter. So does our player have a rigid body?
I think our player does have a rigid body.
Do we?
We should check.
Ship movement, jet model. It does have a rigid body. It's a kinematic rigid body.
Yeah.
So Maybe if we make this a trigger. I'm just curious what this is going to do. It may not actually fix anything.
Is it because we're not telling it what it needs to be a trigger to?
Possibly. Well, no, because it was working before as far as the damaging, so... Let's see what we got. Yeah, nothing. Alright, so, I'm going to revert that. Alright, what do we got here? We got an arch. It's got a rigid body kinematic on the top of it. It's got hurt geo. All three of these are triggers. Just out of curiosity, I'm going to actually copy component and paste it onto all three of these. Did that actually work? Sweet, that worked.
That's pretty cool.
And we're going to apply this, and I'm just going to see if this solves the problem. This isn't a perfect solution because we don't want it to have multiple hits.
Don't worry about that.
Okay. Not worried. I'm a little worried, honestly.
Don't be worried.
Alright, so I'm going to hit this thing, and it hurt me. Okay, so that worked.
That's good.
That's good. But I'm pretty sure that if I, like, hit it at a corner nicely, I'll get hit twice. Yep, that's what it looks like. So for whatever reason, that doesn't work, and yet it worked before when it was on here. I'm going to try copying the rigid body and put it onto the player here on the hurt geo. And I'm going to take the individual damage player on trigger and remove that, and we're going to hit apply. And let's see what happens now. Whee! Flying towards that tower. Sometimes when you're doing bug fixing, it's check and test and change. Okay, it's working now. It's working. So I think that will do it. So I think the problem was it needed the rigid body to know that... Do we only get hit once there, or... It feels like we got hit twice. Oh, no, that's because we got the first one there. Alright. Alright, well, that seemed to work. And do we still get points? I'm pretty sure we still got points, but I just want to double check. Yeah, we got points. That was a quick test because we were already in the arch that we had placed at 0, 0, 0. So we're going to delete that from the scene, and we're going to call that part fixed. So let's, while I'm looking at this stuff here, the double hit's fixed.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Good.
It should be. Well, I thought it was. Didn't it look fixed to you?
I don't know.
Okay.
I looked away.
Understood. I'm going to go ahead and create a new folder for our shaders. I can't believe we actually did shader work on the show.
Yeah, it was pretty
cool. They were
cool.
Really simple, but we did some shader work. I actually have been playing around more with CG recently, so I may actually be able to do more shader in-depth stuff later. And let's go ahead and move all these into our prefabs.
Sweet.
So now that we've got this stuff organized, let's see, what are we doing? We need to fix our...
What about getting damage?
Collision damage, yeah, when you shoot the thing.
Yeah.
So damage player on trigger, I think is what we're using, so I'm going to edit this one. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that the object that we're hitting is the player. So, damage player on trigger. So, considering this is designed specifically for damaging the player, I think it's safe to hardcode this, but I am actually going to set it up as a variable, just in case.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Public string tag equals, or actually collision tag equals player. We've set this up as a list or a array before.
Can you use a layer mask for this?
You know, that's an interesting question. You can, but I don't know the proper terminology. And what I mean by that is, like, if we were doing a raycast, I would immediately do layer mask. And the reason being is layer mask actually takes a layer mask in. When you do on trigger enter, you basically have to compare the layer to your mask, and I don't remember how to actually do that.
I think I did that somewhere in my game.
All right, well, go ahead and check that out. I think it uses like bit shift notation or something, and I swear that there's a way that it will unwrap. I swear that there's a helper function that will unwrap that for you, but I don't know it. So
yeah, I think I've done that.
So on trigger enter, we're going to add a little thing to this line. We're going to add collider col. So on trigger enter actually is defined as returning a collider, not returning, as taking a collider as a parameter. And this collider is whatever you've collided with. And so if you don't have it there, it actually saves you some cycles because the other version won't actually even query that information because you obviously don't need it. So if you don't need to know what you're hitting, don't worry about this. But if you do set it up as a collider, and I always go with call here. Usually I do lowercase of the same thing, but in the case of collider, you can do this dot collider or just collider anywhere because it's part of the mono behavior package. And so if you call it collider, you can actually hide the current object's collider, and you might not want to do that. It'll work, and it will give you the collision you hit, but if you try to access yours, you'll be using the same term, and you'll actually be accessing the other one.
Oh, maybe I did it in my Ludum Dare game.
All right, so so now that we have call, all we have to do is we'll check to see if we're in cooldown first, so that we don't even have to do a comparison here. And then if we're not in cooldown, we're going to say if col.tag equals collision tag. And that's not how you do an if statement. And then we can select all this and hit tab, and it all tabs over. So now this should work as long as our ship is actually set to player. So this is set to player. Actually, it probably shouldn't be the ship that's set to player. It should be whatever has the collider on it. So that's the jet model, it looks like. So let's make sure this is set to player. And that's the only one that really matters. I'm going to go ahead and untag the top portion of this. And we're going to go ahead and update this on the prefab. And let's hit play. And so now if we shoot the arches, we should no longer take damage. And it looks like we're
definitely
good.
not taking damage now.
And then if we hit the arch, we should take damage. Alright, looking good. Looking real good. Let's see about a corner here. Yeah, I think that's right.
I wonder when I did that. I swear I've done layer mask stuff like that before.
I have too. It's just one of those ones that I don't have committed to memory yet. Here, let's see real quick. Let's do a quick web search.
No, I'm still looking.
I'm curious because I think it's a better way to go. Did I do that? Okay, I did. Let's see. Layer masks and
trigger.
Raycast ignore. No, that's not what I want. It's getting tricky with triggers.
No, it could be crazy.
I don't like it.
Yeah, let's not worry about it.
Alright, so let's see. Let's do some new stuff. What do we want to do today for the new stuff? Actually, let's see if we can fix that that enemy. Let's see what we can do about him. Make him a little bit less completely broken.
Said more shader stuff would be cool. Says something.
Cool. Yeah, I think it would be too. We're not going to be able to start on this show, but it's not as hard as I thought it was going to be, actually. Though the big thing is, even though you can do conditionals and certain things in shaders, they're much more picky about performance. So when you if you do a conditional, you any branching in a shader just destroys you. So, all right. So let's go to level 2, and let's see what we got going on with our enemy here, and see if I remember what we were even doing. So the goal is kind of like what's happening here. Where is my player?
It's very red.
Okay, so right now the thing's right on top of me, but we actually want it to get to an offset in front of us in an appropriate manner. So, let's take a look at what we've got. Level 2 mock-up. So, oh yeah, we haven't spawned any of the enemies yet. So
No, just that one, I think, right? That one's just there.
Oh, where is it? Oh, it's part of our plane. Oh, that's right. We wanted it to be as confusing as possible.
Yes. Because the parent or the enemy is a child of the
tower.
The tower itself.
Why did we? I'm sure there was a reason we set it up this way.
It's so that the enemy would rotate, or the enemy would stay
Connected to the tower, like, and we could rotate.
Oh, we can rotate around it. Got it. Because we're rotating the tower. That's right. That's
Correct.
right. Got it. All right. So, if vector3.project player.transform.position minus transform.position, so that's the vector between the player and the enemy, pointing at the player. And then player transform.forwards. That's the forward axis of the player. How's player just? Oh, find object, game object with tag player. So we don't actually want the player forward. We actually want to use the gameplay plane forward. That's actually one of our problems right there. So let's actually tag the gameplay plane with something so we can find it. So I'm going to go ahead, add tag, and we're going to call this... wait, tags are... Oh yeah, because player's built in. Alright, so we're going to call this gameplay plane. And we're going to use that instead. Gameplay plane. Oops. I don't think I capitalized plane. Gameplay. Yep. Alright, so... Oh, we actually need to tag that because that didn't actually tag it. So, gameplay plane. So we're projecting their forward onto... And let's not call it player. Let's actually call it plane. Let's do plane.transform.forward, and let's go ahead and do it. Is the player's actually on the plane, right? Like if I go to ship, yes it is. Yes it is. Y45. Yeah, that's right. Okay, cool. So we can just use the plane for all of these. Whoops. Plane.
Double plane.
Plane. And is this gameplay plane not angled in some stupid way? So like if I look at how this is oriented...
It looks like a churro.
I don't actually want the pivot, I want the pivot, there we go. So that looks right. Blue's pointed forward, that's good. So let's see, first of all, if that fixes anything. Nope, missed player. So let's do plane. Yes, I am on the air. I wish I could turn that off. Like, I can't quit that program because it's magic. You know what I'm talking about. That's one of those, like, this isn't even running and I got a message. Can you type yes?
I will say that.
Thank you.
I can say. There.
All right,
Type yes.
So what am I doing? Gameplay plane. All right, so if we hit play, what do we get? All right, so still kind of very similar behavior. That's okay though.
All right. Oh geez, I'm knocking things over. What I do, I knock things over. Tower churro.
Tower churro. Yes, it is a churro.
It looks just like one, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. We could fill it with cream in the middle or something. So plane dot transform dot position. So this should be the dot magnitude. So this is the actual Manhattan distance, as they would call it, towards the plane dot transform position minus transform dot position. So if that checks the distance. Then we set the position plus equals. Maybe that's the problem. Let's just set the position exactly to where we want it. I see what we're doing. I know why we're doing plus equals. I think I was trying to save some lines. Let's not do it though. So let's do a vector 3. Vector 3. New position equals transform dot position. So this is the current position of the enemy, and we're going to change. Oh, we don't want to change just their z. We wanted this to work in any orientation. That's why we did plus equals. All right, let's take another look at it. So we're adding the actual desired target distance minus the current position let's try this. Let's, instead of doing minus here, no, that won't make sense. Alright, I'm going to break this out a little bit. So, vector project, plane.transform.forward, normalized times target distance. Actually, we don't want to do this. We want to do normalized. And we want to do it on plane.transform.forward. Oh, I see what we needed there. So this gives the one vector. The projection should be onto that, and this should be a one vector. That's not guaranteed though. When I say one vector, I mean normalized. What I mean is the identity vector, which is basically if you multiply by something, you'll get that something again. That's what makes it actually useful. So, again, what projection's doing is we're actually taking... I don't have... Here, let me bring the camera up. So we're actually taking the first vector. So we got the forward vector, and say we've got some arbitrary vector. When we project it onto the forward vector, we get just the forward portion of that vector. And what we're trying to get here is we're trying to get the difference in position from where the object currently is to where we want the object to be. So that's what we're trying to represent here. So this is where the object... Well, this isn't actually where the object actually is. This is... Let's just use the transform dot position here. Wait, no, we already have plus equals.
You still got the face cam up?
Oh, thank you. Main screen. All right. So... Transform position plus equals plane transforms up position. So this represents the distance from the plane, the Manhattan distance. In this case, the z distance from the plane, and that's why we're comparing it to see if it is less than or equal to the target distance. So if it's less than or equal to the target distance, we want to set the position in one component to the target distance.
Yes.
And so we want to... So let's try... Okay, so...
Let's put some prints in there. See what's going on. Exactly.
Okay. Well, what do you want to print?
Well, I mean, you could print like what its magnitude is currently. You could see where it's trying to be and where it thinks it's going to be. We can print pretty much whatever we want to. So
Yeah, I'm not sure if prints would actually help that much in this particular case, though. At least the way that we've got this wrangled right now. I'll see about I'll see about putting those in just in a second. Let me just try something here first. So we want the position. So actually, we should only have one projection. We shouldn't be doing two of these. And we should be projecting the difference in the two positions. So it should be plane dot transform. Okay. So transform dot position minus plane dot transform dot position. Wait, so difference in position. So yeah, minus plane dot transform dot position minus transform dot position dot normalized times target distance, and then project that onto the forward. Let's see if this does something for us.
see if that helps.
Okay, looking better. I'm going to try making this a plus.
Alrighty.
And let's not do plus equals. Alright, let's try making it a minus, but not having that plus equals still. Alright. Alright, so obviously the first one was closer. So let's just try. So what does this one do? I don't think we tried this one. And what does this one do? Interesting.
Looks almost the same.
Takes longer. Does it take longer every time?
Yep, that's because the plane's moving. I bet that's why.
Oh, yeah.
It's because it's moving. It's going against the transform. Yes, that
All
would
right.
be the problem.
All right, fine,
so.
fine. I'm not elite enough to do this as a projection right now and maintain our system, so I'm just going to actually use the Z because we're not going to rotate the level at this point.
But we are in the future.
We are in the future going to do that, and in the future, I will actually have put in the time on this stuff to make it work.
Projections.
So can you add that to our to-do list?
I don't have the Asana permissions.
Oh, wait, what?
I don't.
Okay, I will get you those. All right. So we're going to change this to just the Z distance. So if the difference in plane.transform.position dot Z transform.position dot Z minus transform.position dot Z, and then we get rid of all this junk. So if that is less than target distance, then we do a vector 3 new position. New position equals plane. Oops, no. Transform dot position, and then plane dot position dot Z equals plane dot transform dot position dot Z plus vector 3 dot forward times target distance. And oh wait, and that's not what we want. We want new position dot Z, because that actually won't work. And then we do transform dot position dot Z, equals new position. Let's see what this does. Oh, I got a problem. Plus can't be done with vector 3 and... Oh, yeah. Plus target distance. It's even simpler. Alright, so now if we hit play... There it goes! So now let's see if it works. I'm going to just quickly grab this enemy. And we're going to go to his inspector, and I'm just going to set his target distance to further away. Yep, he's going further away, and if I set it closer, he goes closer, and if I set it, like, really far away, and then set it to, like, 0... Oh, he ended up back here again.
Yeah.
Instantaneously. Why did he end up here instantaneously? Was he here instantaneously when I started it? Ooh, that looks like he might be.
I think so.
Let's make a Z, like, negative 100. Oh, wait. Make it 100. So it'll take him forever to get here. Nope, he's right there. So obviously I've got to check here this wrong. So if plane.transform.position dot z minus transform.position dot z is... Oh, because I'm making an assumption here, so we might have to flip these two terms. Because there's no... I don't remember if we're in the positive space or the negative space.
I can't tell you.
Yeah, so let's try flipping those terms and see if that fixes anything. Okay, well, he's not here yet. He is getting closer, though. I can see the numbers. I probably shouldn't have made that quite so high, but it does illustrate that something's happening.
On his way, maybe.
I don't see him. Where is he? Where is you? If we go into the scene where... Oh, he's coming, he's coming. There he is. And he stopped.
Wow, he's far away.
Yeah, I set him way far away because he needed to get to negative 37 from 100, so... Alright, so that actually works now. So these guys actually come in and do their thing. So let's not have him so far away. Actually, we're going to start a spawner for these guys, I think. And make them into kind of an enemy thing and shoot them down. I think that's what we're going to do for the rest of the night.
Okay.
So, so that's working. As I said, I will investigate the appropriate fix for this at some point. But yeah, so he doesn't really read well until he's pretty close. I got to keep that in mind.
Yeah.
So we want to spawn him about 30 units away. Maybe less. So what do we have for our spawning stuff? Random spawner. I think we have something that's already set up. So this gives a spawn object. It spawns... spawn object index. Okay, cool. So this spawns a random thing. I don't know why I called it spawn wall. But that really doesn't matter, but it's just kind of weird that I called it that. I must have been tired that night.
It's possible.
Or younger and dumber. I feel like I'm dumber every... Well, I feel like my old self is dumber every, like, 2 weeks, which I guess is a good thing, because that means I'm getting smarter, I think. Or at least I think that I'm dumber before, which... That doesn't actually just technically mean I'm getting smarter. It just means my perception of my dumbness is maybe off. So what we're going to do here, we can just throw this onto something. I'm just going to create an object. So the random spawner, where does it spawn? Max range, X offset, Y offset. Okay, so this was intended for our little objects. So we want the spawner, as I said, we're going to put the spawner about 30 units away from the... Well, not 30 units away. Saying away is kind of a strange way of putting it. Yeah, maybe 30 units. So we're going to put 30 units in front of the gameplay plane. So I'm going to create a new empty game object. We're going to call this enemy spawner. put it in the gameplay plane, and we're going to set the Z to forward 30. And we're going to put random spawner on here, and we're going to give the object to spawn is going to be our enemy. Do we have an enemy? This, I don't think we've prefabbed him yet. So
I don't know if we have.
I'm going to actually do that. We're going to have to add a feature to our spawner here too, because we need to have the enemy being part of the tower, so we need to parent it properly. And the other thing that we're going to want to change is really these enemies should be spawning in a circle around the thing. I'm just going to have them spawn in a specific location in front of us for right now, but at some point in the future we're going to want to modify that. So I'm going to delete the enemy parent here.
Oh no.
And I'm just going to take note of the values here. So enemy parent, does this maintain all that? Negative 180. That doesn't make sense. I guess that's the same thing, but I don't know why it changed it to negative.
I have no clue.
Alright, so I'm going to delete this, and we're going to go to enemy spawner. So min spawn time, we'll just do between 1 and 10 seconds. X range will be 0, 0, so this will just spawn in the exact spot. We're going to put the enemy parent in here. I'm going to double check that the random spawner actually does the... Okay, so it does take the transform rotation from the prefab, so that's good. And then finally, we want to actually parent this. So let's make it so public game object, actually public transform parent. And so now we can just do instantiate as game object, and then we can do game object instance equals. So now we have an instance reference, and we can then take our instance dot transform and dot parent and set that equal to parent. So if we hit save here, this now should theoretically work. So I see an enemy.
Where is he?
I see one.
Where is it?
It's not actually parented properly. Oh, that's because I didn't actually give it a parent. So let's go to the enemy spawner, and we're going to make the parent the tower. So now let's see what it does. So we should see them show up under here when they spawn.
Okay.
There we go.
There's one.
There's one. And there's another. And there's another.
It's kind of neat.
And we're waiting for a long time on this one. I guess it rolled a 10.
Yeah.
Alright, let's make them so they start a little bit further away. I'm going to put it at 50. And let's... What else are we going to do? Let's make it so that the max spawn time is 5, and the min... Let's just make it so they spawn at an even rate.
Okay.
Let's do it every 3 seconds just for testing purposes for right now. 1001, 1002, 1003. There it goes. And another.
And another.
Yeah. So it's hard to see those things when they're directly in front of the player.
Yeah, we might need to offset a little bit the player, maybe.
Yeah. So what we may want to do is kind of make them fly in from the top and then kind of come down. We can make these guys really fancy, but we're not going to do that right now. Let's actually just make it so that we can shoot these guys down so that we feel like we have accomplished something.
Yeah, that would be nice.
So, and let's actually use our bullets for the first time to actually do something other than invoke a bug. So.
Oh, come on. Invoking bugs is the best.
I guess it is. Alright, so I'm going to do one of our classics. We're going to call this Gib on Collide. Some people call them gibs, and that's probably more accurate because it's chicken and giblets after all, but and I think that's where the term comes from, but I like gib because it looks like gib. So, gib on collide.
Call it jib.
Yeah.
Jib on collide.
I really should be doing this on trigger. Let's do it. Gib on trigger.
Jib on trigger.
All right. Which do you prefer?
Gib.
All right, cool.
I just like saying jib because it reminds me of Jif.
That man. He did that. I think he was trolling.
He
I
may
think
have
that
been.
I think that he may have actually honestly been trolling. The guy that created the GIF, I refuse to do it, said
The
that it's
GIF?
actually pronounced GIF.
Yeah, he's wrong.
Even though it stands for graphics and it has a G, it's a GIF.
No, it's not. He's just wrong.
Okay.
Just because he made it doesn't mean it's right.
I guess, you know, I agree with that because I have seen so much of my stuff that is totally wrong, and that is absolutely the case. So I like that. I like that. The world of absolutes that you live in, Phil. I actually do enjoy that. I don't make the rules. I just enforce them.
Yep.
All right. So
I am the law.
Public. Public.
I'm not the law.
So we can. Okay, we can add points on in another method, but let's do public. Let's not do HP. Let's just have the enemies blow up. For
Public
right now.
bool
Bool
hit.
hit. Okay. Why do we need that?
Because you can say that they're hit. I don't know.
Okay. Why not? I'll just leave
I
it
don't
for right
care.
now. All right. This is actually going to be super simple. We're just going to
Yeah,
do void
I don't even think you need that
on
bool.
collision enter. Oh, I know what we need. We should have a tag. And actually, let's make it a set of tags. So public string array tags. And the reason we're doing it this way is so that if we wanted to have multiple things, say we have a big bomb that we make later, we don't want to necessarily have to tag that as a bullet. We could. That's another option we have.
Yeah.
But this will allow us to have multiple tags that it will check against. So the way we do that is we can just unroll this in a for each loop. So we can do for each tag. Oh, wait, we don't. Yeah. I don't know if is tag a thing that just happens.
No, it's your string array.
Okay.
No,
We'll
it's
see.
not. No,
Public,
tag must just be a thing that happens.
Yeah,
because-
maybe it is. We'll see if we get a warning about it. So public for each string tag in tags. And we're going to, once we have the tag, we're going to, oh yeah, we need to actually, and we want trigger. On trigger, enter, collider, call. Remember, trigger is colliders and collision is collisions. They return two different things. So if col.tag equals tag, then we destroy game object, and that's what we want. We want to have public public game object gib. Normally we would do this as an array. I don't feel like dealing with that right now. So let's just instantiate gib at our transform position, and is there a random rotation I can do? Oh, wow, random rotation. Cool. Like that. So now let's create a real quick and dirty particle effect to be our gib effect. Considering I don't think we've done too many particles and they're kind of fun. So I'm going to create a new particle system. And we're going to zoom in on it so that we can see it. And as it's an explosion, this will be appropriate to do. So we're not going to want loop, although I'm going to keep it looping just so that we can see
so you
things.
can see it, yeah.
We're going to change the shape to be a sphere. And we're going to set the radius to be 0, so it comes right out of the center. Random direction, what does that even mean?
Alright.
Well, we're already randomizing the direction anyway, so who cares? So now we want to, let's make it so we're rotating that thing, right?
Yes, the churro.
The churro. Good. So I'm going to actually apply gravity to these things too.
I believe we are rotating the churro, yeah.
So first let's make it so they go out at a much faster rate.
For like a second or something
Yeah,
like that, right?
and we're gonna make them just kind of a real quick burst, and I want it to be like kind of yellow sparky bits. So I'm going to go ahead and change the color. Actually, we can make it like white to yellow or something. So let's start color of white, and then do color over lifetime.
Yep.
And we want, oh, I would actually check that. Gradient random between two gradients. So color over lifetime is gradient. We're going to start at white, and we're going to end it at kind of a reddish.
That works.
It's kind of cool. It's a little
Could
bit better than the.
You could even start it at yellow if you wanted to, and have it go red.
Actually, let's go ahead and fade them out too.
To get some alpha.
Yeah. All right, and
Oh, it just looks pink.
okay, fine. Let's make it so that it goes red earlier. See?
Yeah, I
See
like
how
that.
awesome that is?
Yep, that's better.
And then we can go actually to full alpha, unlike the regular alpha.
Oh, yeah.
So, there you go again. Alright, so start lifetime, start speed. Let's make it so that the speed is actually random between two constants, and so let's make it so they can go up to 10 and down to 5. And actually, let's make it 20 and 10.
That much, huh?
Yeah, well, because it's going to be a really short burst. So we're not going to do looping. Let's stop this thing and simulate.
That's too
See,
long.
that's way too long. So we're going to actually do...
Do rate it like
yeah, we can actually do rate at 0, and let's just do a burst of particles right at the start.
not 30. I'm thinking like 500.
So if we just hit simulate now... There.
500.
500? All right.
Try 500.
Where we have the max particles set to 1,000, so that'll be fine. So let's hit it, simulate.
Much better.
All right. And we have kind of a firework thing going on. That's cool. And let's actually make it so that there's a gravity to this. So if we do a gravity multiplier of 1, it should kind of
That's cool.
do that. Yeah, it's better than nothing. Let's make the lifetime shorter. Simulate. Start lifetime 0.5. Simulate. Alright, yeah. 1 is fine. And let's do world simulation space just in case. I don't think it'll make much difference in this case, but whatever. Alright, so we have kind of an explosion thingy.
Yep.
Is it actually like, it doesn't look 3D from here, but it actually is like
Yeah.
a 3D explosion. So, alright. So we're going to call this enemy death. And we're going to go ahead and drag this into...
The enemy.
Let's put it just into prefabs. Delete. We're going to go into our enemy parent. Alright, so this thing doesn't have a
What is going on
collider
with
at
the
all.
model for the parent? Why is the scale on
Oh.
the Y at 0.125?
I don't know. Is there something that it was attached to that had some weird scale that it had to combat?
Probably. Should change that back to...
I'm just going to do 1. Yeah, I don't think that's going to hurt us any.
No, that's just really weird.
Alright, so we need a collider on this thing, so I'm going to go ahead and pull this back into scene. And we're going to just put a... we're going to go ahead and be safe and do a physics. Rigid body is kinematic, because that guarantees that our triggers will work. And then we're going to add a physics box collider. I think that'll be appropriate.
Yeah, I think a box will be just fine.
And let's look at where it is. And let's go ahead and... It seems pretty good, but I'm going to go ahead and encase the whole object so that you don't feel cheated if you clip a corner.
The enemies should have a second chance, too.
All right, fine. That is so not the norm, but I'll go for it. All right, so they have a little bit. Now. Yeah, okay. They need every bit of help they can get. I gotcha. I hear you.
They can't shoot.
All right, so I'm going to apply that.
Once they can shoot, though.
Now all we need to do is add our new script called Gib on Trigger.
Once they can shoot, it's going to be a whole different story.
We're going to make the tags be... What do we actually call the bullets? I don't think they even have them tagged at all yet. So let's look at bullet. Yep, untagged. So let's add a tag, and let's make it consistent with the
bullet.
layer player bullet.
Oh, player bullet. Yeah, good call. You don't want all the bullets. You don't want them to be able to shoot themselves?
No.
I kind of want them to be able to shoot themselves.
Okay, maybe. Actually, I am a fan of that. I was one of those people that didn't like the decision we made on one of those games that we were working on. You remember what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So, player bullets. That's not what I wanted it to be called, player bullets. I wanted the bullet to be called player bullets. And so finally we're going to go back into our enemy. We're going to make sure that it is only killed currently by... Wait. Where did this... Did I not attach it?
I thought you attached it.
Oh, I attached it here. I haven't applied it yet.
Oh.
So, size of 1. We're going to use player bullets. And the Gib is going to be our enemy death. We're not cleaning it up right now, but...
there we go.
That was weird.
A little bit.
Alright, and hit apply. We delete the enemy from the scene.
Oh, poor enemy.
And now I'm going to just fly down so we can see all the enemies spawn in, and we're going to shoot them up. And nothing.
Nothing. Why nothing?
Nothing at all.
Okay, we need to fix that.
Yes, we do. Obviously we do. So, fancy bullet. Is
that really what it was called? Fancy bullets.
Fancy bullets. So yeah, let's actually tag those as player bullets, and then let's see if that solves our problem.
Oh yeah, the other ones were like squares or something like that, and these are ones that I made.
Oh, that was sweet.
Yeah, that was kind of cool.
That's awesome. That actually ended up turning out a lot better than I thought it was going to. It looked kind of ho-hum when it wasn't in motion.
Yeah. That's pretty sweet.
That might be too interface.
It might be too much.
I'm going to leave it for right now, though, because it feels like we got rewarded for our hard work.
It does a little bit, yeah.
I love being rewarded for hard work.
Fancy bullets.
Why did we call it that?
I don't know.
I know why we called it that, because it was like a fancy bullet. It wasn't just a regular cube or something like we usually do on the show. But
oh, what happened there? Did you get one way off in the distance?
I think I did. And I'm going to try and kill him as fast as possible. I'm just going to...
Yeah.
Sweet. I'm going to have a few of them spawn and then blow them all up because it'll be really exciting.
You can get multiples with one bullet, I bet.
Probably. Because I don't destroy
Just get a few of them like right on top of each other.
Alright, we're going to see how many particles we can do.
And you see the game tester in me come out.
Alright, so... Bam!
Oh, yeah.
So cool.
That's
and I got the other one too. All right, cool.
Nice, very good.
All right, so 9:30. So I'm going to call that a wrap. So thank you very much for joining us tonight. You've been a great audience. I'm glad that did we have any questions or anything that was
No, not
okay. Not really. It was just mostly general chatter. Okay, cool. So thank you for joining us tonight. If you want to email me at pushypixels@pushypixels.com. You can also tweet me at Drakfire, and you should buy Robot Alone for iOS. It's just iOS right now, right?
Yeah, just iOS for now. I'm gonna look into an Android port. I keep saying that, but I'm busy at work, so I don't have.
It's actually not as big of a problem anymore because you don't have to pay for Android license anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's free now, so you might actually want to look into that. So.
Well, I think I already had a Unity Android license.
Oh, did you? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just haven't paid Google yet.
Okay.
And you can, if you really so choose to, you can send me an email. That's philip@protosoftworks.com. You can also follow me on Twitter, which is @magmalemur. And buy a fine piece of Pushy Pixels software. You can buy Pushy Pixels. You could buy Proton Pulse. You should buy both of those.
Also,
more than once.
We have a announcement. I'm not going to do it today. I'm going to do it next week. But Pushy Pixels, my little company, Justin and I have been working on an Oculus Rift version of Proton Pulse. And what was that?
I can say it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, we're really excited about it, and we're actually going to be doing a Kickstarter so that we can get Unity Pro set up so that I can actually publish the game, because Oculus Rift actually requires screen space effects to do the monitor thing right, and so it requires Pro. It also uses a plugin, which I think requires Pro on.
Yeah, but then you can
no,
also
wait, no, the plugin doesn't. It's just the screen space stuff.
With Pro, though, you get a bunch of sweet effects in the game too. So
yes, indeed, yeah. And actually, that's the other thing. Since we're doing Pro anyway, we on the trial we've been playing around with all of the screen space stuff and the lens flares and stuff. It looks
really, really awesome.
It's so cool. Anyway, thank you very much for joining us tonight, and you guys have a great evening.
Have a good night
and week too.
And yeah, that too.
Yeah.
I guess.